But did you have a good time, even though it was a little warm?
Yeah, so it should be going live here, okay? So
Okay.
let's see.
You look good. You look nice and clear.
Good.
Yeah, we're live.
Sometimes we're a little fuzzy.
All right, well, we are super excited, Kirsten, to have you here with us tonight. I am Josh, and this is Stacy, everybody, and we've got Kirsten Kennedy joining us. We're both here in Rapid City. We should probably all be together. I don't know why we're not. That's probably what we should be doing. But anyway, we're glad that you can join us tonight, Kirsten, for this. I know that Kirsten and I know each other professionally. Kirsten is one of the colleagues that I get to work with here in the community, and have worked with her for the last several years. And it's been great to get to know her on a professional level. And I also had a chance to get to know her father and I know her mother a little bit through the community as well. So it's been great to get to know her and her family. And Kirsten is joining us this evening as she lost her father, Ron, March of 2020, just as COVID was starting to come into play. So it's been a rough year a little bit for Kirsten and her family, understandably, and I'm so honored to be able to have Kirsten join us. Kirsten has done a number of very kind and wonderful things for our family since Lily's passing, and has been just a great friend as well as colleague through all of that. So we're honored to have Kirsten join us this evening and give her a chance to share a little bit of her journey over the last year and some of her heart. And hopefully we'll get to know Ron. Everybody will get to know Ron a little bit more after tonight and find some of the things that he really enjoyed and that Kirsten has enjoyed. And we'll go from there. Stacy, did you want to say anything?
I'm just excited to hear your story.
Okay. So we'll turn it over to you, Kirsten, and tell us a little bit about your journey here.
So like Josh said, my name's Kirsten. My dad did pass of kind of unexpectedly last March from complications of a stroke. We did have to make the decision to remove him from life support. So it was kind of hard that way, especially with it, being the beginning of COVID. It was kind of right when everybody started not letting people in the hospital. And so I kind of made that decision a little bit harder. We weren't able to have a lot of family around us then. It was just my mom and I. But my father, I'll try to get through this without crying. It's still hard. Anyways, I am an only child. I've always been super close with my parents. I never went through that awkward, not awkward, but I feel like a lot of my friends have gone through that, like, I hate you stage with their parents. I never did that. All through high school, all through college, I always did stuff with my parents, even on the weekend. A lot of outdoor stuff with my dad. He was an avid outdoorsman. A lot of our family vacations were camping, hiking, whitewater rafting, something of those sorts. And so he always really shared his love of the outdoors with me, and he loved to share it with everybody else too. I don't know, as Josh kind of knows, I think one of his favorite things to share with people was a hike called the Super Hike here in Rapid or here in the Black Hills. And if you got him talking on that, he could talk for hours. He just loved sharing his knowledge of the Black Hills with people. And I hope to be able to pass that along and do the same. I feel that I don't know what he knows. I could ask him, somebody could give me a road number and I'd be like, Dad, this road number, whatever. And he'd be like, oh, that's probably here. And he could get out a map and find it. Or you could say, where's this location? And he would usually know. I mean, he grew up in the Black Hills. He's done lots of camping and backpacking here in the Black Hills, most nights he'd be sitting and looking at maps or reading books about the Black Hills. Through the community education here in Rapid, they do a ghost towns class. So you do things like that. And he just knew so much about the Black Hills. So I hope to one day know what he knows. And when somebody would ask me where something is, I can tell them. But I don't feel I'm there that way. But I guess in this time I do miss him and doing the things we enjoy. But I say take comfort in doing the things you enjoy, because that's when I feel closest to him. And so I am comforted in that way by him. I would have to say the hardest activity I have done since he has passed is rock climbing. I will not ever forget the first time I went to go rock climbing without him. I had to take stuff out of his pack that we needed. And for me, my husband probably thought I was crazy. I just went down there and I was just hugging his pack and just cried and sobbed. And I was supposed to be going with my friend Jen. And I called her and I go, Jen, I don't think I can go. It hurts too much. Like, I can't do that without him. And she goes, Kirsten, we need to go out and we need to honor your father, because that's what he'd want you to do. And knowing in the back of my mind, my dad would be sitting there saying, Kirsten, quit being ridiculous and go out and go rock climbing. So that still is one of the hardest things to do without him. But I still do it because I know that's what he would want me to do, and continue to share that with people. So I guess for me, just continuing to do the things him and I enjoyed together keeps me connected to him, and to still be able to have him here with me in my life and still share that with others around me in that way. I'm hoping it gets easier to do the things without him. Like when I find somebody will post something and I'll want to be like, oh, I'm going to go ask my dad where that's at. I'm like, I can't. So that's still kind of hard. But I still continue to mountain bike. We still continue to hike and rock climb and backpack, and still do all the things I enjoy doing with him. And each time I do feel connected with him. So I guess that's how I've coped. And I guess with it being with COVID and not being able to be around family and having that comfort, in a sense, just because when it happened, we weren't able to have a large gathering and a lot of his family didn't come out. That is how I still share being with him in that way. And I hope to be able to pass that along to other people as I continue in my outdoor adventures, and continuing sharing his passion for the outdoors as well. I know that it's supposed to be like 20 minutes or so. I know it wasn't really 20 minutes. Does anybody have any questions about my dad, or I guess about
Kirsten,
my journey?
I have a number of questions I'd like to. The hike, tell me the name of the hike again. I always have a hard time remembering it.
So it's called Doc's. It's called Doc's Super Hike, and it was founded by Doc Van Hoevland. He was an avid rock climber here in the Black Hills, and it has a whole story that goes with it. Somebody that knows it has to take you on it. It's up by Mount Rushmore. It used to start with the tree with 3 rings, but that has since been taken down. So you kind of have to know where to go off the trail. And you start by going into the castle hallway. And then you come to the first big step, and it's like a rock scramble. And then you look for the backpackers pool. And then after that, there's a rock formation that kind of looks like a centurion guarding the castle doorway. So you go into the castle doorway, and then there you'll see rock formations that look like a chess, queen, and bishop. So you look for that. And then as you go by that, you enter an area cave. We call it Goat Poop Cave. And we usually let the new people find the way out, which is usually the birthing canal, because it is a hole that you go through head first, like you're birthing. And then you find Wall Street, and it's just a big rock wall, kind of a ledge that you walk through till you find the Komodo dragon, which is a rock that looks like a Komodo dragon guarding the castle stairway. And it's a little stairway up to what they call the false needle's eye, and it's a hole in the rock that you can look through. And my dad's big joke was most people have a religious experience because it's a big drop off, and they're like, oh God, when they get up there. And there is a little registry up there that we put up there that you can sign in and put the date and who you're with. And as you exit out, you go through Courts hallway, and there's a whole bunch of rock quartz through the wormhole. It's just a hole you go out with your feet first, and then you'll see the waltzing couple, and then you circle all the way back out.
Wow. That sounds amazing. Why have we not done this?
Hey, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie.
Hello.
So it's a 4-mile hike, but it takes like 4 to 5 hours to do, just to take in everything.
So he introduced you to this hike.
Yep.
Correct? And you have to, I couldn't just go. You said you have to go with someone you know. Is that what you said?
It's
okay.
Not like an ingrained trail by any means, and there's a whole bunch of rock scrambles, so it's not like on any trails. To my knowledge, there is no map out there, and this sounds kind of bad, we are selective on who we take because we don't want it to become known, because actually there used to be a plaque up there, and since it's in the Black Elk Wilderness area, the Forest Service has actually taken the plaque down because it used to say Doc Van Hootlen Super Hike. And so we can have the canister up there because they have said what we don't know doesn't hurt us. So if we don't know it's up there, they won't take it down. And so, I love to share it with people, but I share it with people that I know will respect it. And
really neat. So it's kind of like, is it kind of a sacred place for you now?
It is. When people do ask about it, especially on social media, I don't share it just because I don't know. It is something I keep close to my heart, and I just don't want it to get ruined. And the Forest Service be like, nope, can't do it anymore, because that is one thing that I don't know. My dad just really enjoyed sharing, so I want to be able to continue to share it with people that will respect it and enjoy it, because I think it's fun. I think it's fun for kids, not really little, but just to go and be like, can you see this? Or, can you see this formation? And tell them the story of it.
That's awesome.
How did it become his favorite? Why was that so much one of Ron's favorite?
I think he likes it so much because he loves to tell stories, which is one thing I miss. He would tell the same stories kind of over and over. And sometimes you're like, oh, this story again, but now I wish to hear those stories again. But I think he just loved sharing it and sharing the story, and especially taking younger kids on it and being like, can you see this? And I think it was the story behind it.
That's cool. And I think now, when you take people, do you think it'll mean more, and maybe you can share those memories that you had with him with the people you take? That might be.
Yeah, we have. I took a group of 65-year-old ladies up there because they were hiking and were wanting to do it. It's actually one of our good friends, hiking group that they go on. And Jamie was a good sport. He went with me and 5, don't want to say older ladies, but 65-year-old ladies, and helped them all through, because there's some spots where you need a little bit of help. And I'd say, I mean, it's not the easiest hike, but it was fun. I mean, it was fun taking them. I was always worried. I knew the day would come that my dad wouldn't be there, and me being worried that if I would remember it. But I do.
The dog helps.
The dog helps. She knew.
The dog knows the trail.
I don't
know.
So I do. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to ask a question. So when that first time you were like, went rock climbing, and you was like, I just can't do it. It hurts too much. And then you actually did it. How did that feel after you accomplished that?
It was good. It was a good day. Yeah. I went with my really good friend, Jen, she was close with my dad. She did a lot with my family. Her and her husband and stepdaughter did a lot with my family. And so it was a good day. It was a good day. Still hard though.
Yeah, for sure.
But I know he would want me to do it. He would never want me to quit doing it.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that you mentioned that I thought was really is that you're alluding to the fact that you want to share some of those things with him, the hike, to be able to take people rock climbing, to be able to become knowledgeable of those things. And I think that's a really cool way to honor your dad, to take on some of those things that he has here in this life, and then you take them on and be able to pass those on. Because obviously Stacy and I don't know where this hike is. I'm sitting here thinking I know that you're involved with the youth club here locally with mountain biking, and there's probably some ways that you can continue to honor your dad that way. Do you tell us a little bit about the Mickelson Trail project idea that you guys have?
So the Mickelson Trail, it's been several years ago now. We actually, what they did where you could buy like a marker or a bench to honor somebody, or kind of really whatever you would want to put on it. Initially, probably 13 years ago now, because Oliver and Ginger are 12 and 13. So that means Jordan, who is one of my dad's dogs that he just had a really special connection with. We got a trail marker for him. And so I had called to see if we could do a bench or something for my dad. They said we could add a second plaque for him. And so I called back and got the number that I need to finally call after several emails to see exactly how many letters we can put on there. But we are going to put another plaque below Jordan's plaque in honor of my father. And it's nice because the mile marker we have is it's by Red Fern, and there's actually like a little shelter there and picnic table, and you can get pretty close to it so you don't have to walk really far into it, which is kind of nice to be able to kind of visit and see it. And so I'd like to do that, and then talk with them about doing either like adopting part of the trail for cleanup, or like trail maintenance and improvement in the area to kind of honor him.
Awesome. So, I think that's so amazing. That's great.
So yeah.
And that's probably to many people that listen to you, the Mickelson Trail. Can you give us a little history of what the Mickelson Trail is and why, just a teeny bit of what it is and what
So the Mickelson Trail used to be old railroad. It's 121 miles long. My dad initially wanted to, since that's an area we would go and hike and bike every once in a while, and it was outdoors. And since he loves the outdoors, and Jordan always enjoyed being outdoors. That's why we picked that to kind of memorialize Jordan. But it's a wonderful bike trail that I feel is accessible to a lot of ages and a lot of abilities, because it is relatively flat, and a good area I feel for families to go if they want to bike or hike, to go out and enjoy being outdoors with your family.
Yeah, that's great. The picture that we used for the post on Survivors was actually one of the tunnels on the Mickelson Trail, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Great. Cool.
And the guy, actually the person in the back, that's my dad. Mm-hmm. And then you can see Emmy, myself, and then actually it was our friend, Jen and Jeremiah. It was Jeremiah who we do quite a bit with in the picture. So we did them out. We did, I don't know, Mickelson a few times a year, just because it's something that a lot of people could do. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Jamie, did you want to say anything about Ron here, or are you just joining in for the?
I'm kind of just joining in and supporting my wife, so.
That's awesome. Well, we certainly do appreciate the support that you give her, both professionally, personally, and all that. We look forward to being able to be part of the Mickelson Trail project with you. And if we can get something where we can go up on a regular basis, however it's needed and clean, I would love to go up there. One of the memories I'm going to just bring up about Ron that I had is Ron loved to eat. And
yeah, he loves to eat.
The first few conversations I ever had with Ron, I think, were predominantly focused on food or what he had eaten last or where we're going to eat. So he introduced me to the, what's that restaurant out there? It used to be Captain's Pirates Cove or something like that.
Is that Hannah?
Yes. Yeah, the sushi place. So
yeah.
Every time I go and eat sushi, I can't help but to think of your father a little bit on that, and his love for food.
I forget about his love of food too. Yes, he loved food as well. I guess we did. We cooked together a lot too. We made kind of one of the biggest, we made ravioli a lot together. When I went to St. Thomas More High School, and there you just get, like, the basketball team would always have a spaghetti feed. So my freshman year, we did a spaghetti feed, and my father, being the food connoisseur he is, he said, we can do better than this. So the next year, my dad and I ended up making 400 some ravioli for the entire basketball team. And it's homemade pasta from scratch, all the fillings, the spaghetti sauce from scratch. And so we made a couple different kinds, and instead of a spaghetti feed, we did ravioli, and brothers from out of the woodwork came to pick up their sisters from the spaghetti feed so they could have ravioli. And so we did that for 3 years. And even after I left, I ran into one of the girls that were younger than me, and she's like, we really miss your ravioli. It was so much better than the spaghetti feeds. And so that's when we did. And I do pass along making ravioli. When I was in dental school, we'd have girls' nights, and we would make ravioli from scratch and have pasta. And it's really nice. Actually, one of my good friends from dental school recently got a hold of me and asked me again, just kind of how to make ravioli. And she passed that along with her children. She made ravioli with her children. So
well, we
that's nice. Have to get that recipe.
We need you to come over and pass a little Ron on to our family. We love that kind of stuff.
He sounds like my kind of guy. Yes. I love food too.
That's fantastic.
I always think he was like the grill master, kind of like fancy food. And my mom would always she does the like home cooked comfort food. So awesome. Him and we cooked a lot together, and I'd go over there and help cook for Father's Day, Mother's Day. He'd always try to cook on Father's Day, and I have to tell him to go sit down, then I got it. But I guess we do. I share a love of food with him as well, because I can be
kind of food snob.
I'm a food snob. And I blame him because he's always cooked such good food.
I think it would be really cool. Have to if you could share with us, maybe, I think it would be, they have such a cool video montage of Ron that they put together for the funeral. I may see if we can get permission from our group here to, if you guys want to share that, that'd be cool, because it shows a lot of what you're telling in story, Ron in action. I particularly like the dog pictures with him in the recliner. Like there's a lot of him in the recliner reading with the dog right there.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And that was, I think the one I sent was with our dog, Emmy. Like he was always around his dogs. Yeah.
Cool.
He would just let them do whatever. He'd sit there in pain and in discomfort, as long as the dog is comfortable or the cat's comfortable. He embodied like the memes that you see of the cat is comfortable or the dog is comfortable. You cannot move, no matter how asleep your foot is or how bad you have to go to the bathroom. You do not move until the animal moves.
That's awesome. Love these pets.
Yeah.
That's great.
Thank you so much for sharing those things with us about your father, Kirsten.
And I just want to tell you that just from you sharing what you did about how, you know, you keep, it was hard to do, and it probably will continue to be hard for a bit to do those things. But I just, what strength you have that you actually did it. And it is hard to do those things, but I feel like when you do them, you just get stronger. And like you said, you feel close to them. So yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I know that as you intentionally move forward with those things, especially in your desire to teach other people, I know that he will be there as a resource in some small ways to help you along the way, and that you'll feel a connection to him through that. And that'll be a priceless treasure that you will then be able to pass on to those individuals that you can help. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for having me. This has been great. I've enjoyed sharing my dad and sharing my journey.
Yes, it's wonderful.
That's why we want to have people share, because I think there's a little bit of magic healing that does. And I can promise you that somebody that will hear this, something that you've said, will resonate and maybe help them through this process as well. So thank you so much. Jamie, thanks for your support again and joining us tonight.
No problem.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Thanks.